I thought this might be kind of an interesting topic to bring up because I figure a lot of people out there might be able to relate to something like this, albeit there's going to be an equal amount of people who might find it to be kind of silly that I was actually, like, legitimately saddened by an event like this, but it's just something I thought I would go and bring up. Now, there's a store that I've been frequenting for quite a few years out in the Cranberry Township area here in Pennsylvania, and it was called Game Again. It's actually by a comic book store that I would frequent very often. I would go out there, I'd buy my comic books, graphic novels, action figures, Magic the Gathering cards, go out there and get all that stuff. But then they eventually opened a game store over there, and I was all fucking psyched up. I'm like, hell yeah, this will be awesome, because they had Dungeons and Dragons shit, they had Magic the Gathering, they had tons of video games, movies, and all sorts of other shit. So that's a bunch of stuff, you know, I take a great interest in. I'm like, that's pretty fucking sweet. And the dude that ran the store, very awesome guy. Every time I went in there, I always had a long discussion with him, and got to know him very well. But just recently I got to find out that the store is going to be closing. And keep in mind, this was a couple of days ago, but I went on the very last day that it was open, and I was legitimately saddened by this, because this is now, within 1 year's time, this is actually the second video game store that I would go to very often that was closing down. And that bummed me out for a large number of reasons, obviously. Anytime that I would go out there, I would actually make it a point to go out to that area in general, strictly just to go to that game store. And I always made it a point to pick up something because his prices were so damn good. I mean, nowadays, most people out there who are trying to get, like, old games and shit, you already know that it's tough. It really is, just because, like, prices are so stupidly high for no fucking reason at all, really. And there's a lot of price gougers, and you know damn well there's a lot of resellers that go and pick up shit and take it back to their store. This dude is, like, working with a really good inventory, and it was already low in price by comparison where you would find it at anywhere else. And on top of that, he would always cut me a deal because I'd been going there for so damn long. And I was sad, like, right down, like, in front of the camera. I'll just pick it up and show you, but, right here, like, this is actually an entire box of stuff. I bought all this shit. You might be thinking, oh man, that's way too much stuff. It's mainly because there's a Sega CD Model 1. I've never gotten to own one, but I always wanted to. But, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of shit. It'll be the coup de grace and the finale, since it'll be the last time I ever get to go to that store. And yeah, it had been going on for quite a few days. It was like everything in the store was like half off. I'd gotten cut an even better deal whenever I got to go in, but I was just like, I was kind of bummed out looking at everything. I even ran into people that recognized me through doing videos and stuff like this, and I was talking to them just, you know, about anything gaming related, but overall sentiment was that, you know, this sucks. This is like literally the last time they'll be open. And I always liked mom and pop style stores in general, and always did my very best to support them. Like, I mean, anytime I went in, even if I didn't find something, if I had money, I'd try to buy something, even something, you know, kind of small, just to continue to support the store, because it's something that I like to go to. Because if not, your options are essentially, you know, have GameStop or you have online only. And I know everybody can say, oh, you could just buy something online and get it mailed to your house, but I actually like going out and finding stuff. Like, I like going to a store and finding shit there. I like going to flea markets and finding stuff there. I like going to thrift stores and finding stuff there. I like going to pawn shops and, you know, and the like. You know, and I know it might not be a big deal to a lot of people. Again, it might be like, you know, why the fuck do you even care? But it's just one of those things that I've grown up my entire life going to these style of stores. I was bummed out whenever there was, like, no stores anymore around that no longer had video rental services. Because there had been so many, like, within an area that I live in right now, there's, like, a shit ton down the fucking street that I could go to. And I like going to them, and it always made me sad that they weren't there anymore, because, I mean, I have memories of getting, like, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 games, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis games, like, renting them and taking them home and playing them. Now I own the physical cartridges and CDs of those games, but I just, you know, that's something, like, it's a piece of my childhood, a piece of my upbringing, and to see it kind of go away, it's a saddening event overall. And I felt like a lot of other people out there could probably, you know, relate to a story like this, because I've seen a lot of stores come and go, and some of them were absolutely amazing. Some others, I was kind of glad to see them go, because the owner or the people that ran it were kind of just assholes in general, and it was doomed to fail from the get-go. But when you have people that are very kind and very nice, and do their best to run an upstanding establishment, to do their best within, you know, the entire world of business and world of gaming and stuff, that's something I want to fucking support. And when it goes away, it's just like, damn, that... it sucks. But I was actually thinking about doing, like, a pickups video and stuff of it. But I mean, I got a bunch of stuff and was actually happy to go and get all this. I mean, and again, he got me such an insane deal, all this stuff. Like, I couldn't believe, like, I only paid, like, $100 for everything, and I got a stupid amount of shit. Like, a stupid amount of stuff. But it, you know, it's one of those things, now it won't be out there. Now, within the plaza, all that there is out there is, like, the comic book shop. There's also a store, a head shop out there too, a lot of people like, but my main thing was the game store and the comic book shop. But now there's just that, so it kind of sucks. It does. Makes me extremely sad. And the other store, like I said, there was 2 stores that closed within a year's time. The other store was like very small store. It didn't even last for an entire year, but I went there as often as I possibly could. And that was like literally just a couple blocks away from me. I was even thinking about taking up a part-time job there just for the fuck of it, because I think it'd be fun. And you know, I had the extra time to, but then the store ended up closing. I was like, damn, that. the sadness. And it's a hard time to go and open a store in today's economy, and I understand that. And that's why I always try to support that kind of shit. But yeah, so another one bites the dust, pretty much, I guess. But game again, I will miss that store thoroughly. Actually, I had quite a few good memories of going to that store and picked up a lot of really cool shit. A lot of things that are in here right now. Stuff even back on this shelf that you may have seen and been like, oh wow, look at that. You know, I wouldn't have ever found any other way. Hell, I've got, way back in the day, they had the Final Fantasy VII figures, like a big-ass fucking package of all of them, as Tifa, Barrett, Cloud, Aerith, or Aeris, depending on what you want to go with, and a Chocobo and some other shit. I had gotten that from there. I hadn't seen that since like the days of like Babbage's and Funko Land. I was like, holy fuck! I know, again, you can buy it online, but I found it in a store. I ended up getting it with store credit, so it didn't cost me shit. It's just like, dude, that's fucking sweet. But yeah, anyway. If you want to do like a video response talking about maybe a store that was in your local area that closed down, or just memories of stores that you'd went to that no longer are around anymore, and I know a lot of people could relate to this. I just thought it'd be kind of an interesting discussion to go and speak about, but yeah, this is kind of one for me to all of you out there in YouTube land. So yeah, I'm going to go and talk about it. It's sad, but you know, what the fuck can you do other than support it the best that you can with the money that you got? So anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.